Good morning. Good morning. It's so good to be back. Hey, listen, I've been gone for a while. Had a couple of family things. Some uh, Went to a trade show. Um, Good morning. Where am I? I don't even know where I am anymore. There we are. Good morning, Barb. Good morning, Diane. So good to see you both. So good to see all of you. So yeah, I went to Impressions Expo in Long Beach. Oh my God, Long Beach can be so expensive for somebody, small business operator in the Midwest where, we don't charge $30 an hour. Maybe I should. Um, Anyways, so I wasn't going to go. And then I was going to go. And then I wasn't going to go. So I went. All right. So, not that we're going to talk about anything that I found at the expo last week, this week, but it is part of my plan for next week and maybe the week after. But I do have, oh, hey, Doug. Doug's here. I do have one cautionary tale. If you have pets, don't leave for an extended period of time. Good morning. Don't leave for an extended period of time because when you get back, they are stuck to you like glue. Right now, at this very moment, I have three cats. I'm surprised one isn't on the back of the chair, and two dogs who have not left my side for a week. All right, she knows I'm talking about her, so Carly went off to the other side. But she's still here. All right, so what are we doing this week? We are going to talk about using ChatGPT to plan. Um, Barb actually suggested this. Barb, in our episode about building business for 2026, some of the things, and I'm going to pop this up here. Let's add this to scene. So, yes, we're going to talk about planning with Chappy. Chappy is the name that I've given Chat GPT on my computer. Yeah, we get along great. You're going to see that. So, anyways, let me get to the next screen. So, here we are. This is our recap. In episode 57, What's Building in 2026, Chappie gave us several suggestions. And during that conversation, Barb, Barb in the house, a regular viewer on Coffee and Conversation, shared that she had used ChatGPT to build a planner for her business for the year. She shared that plan with me, and using her plan as a guide, I'm going to share you how I built a plan using Chat GPT. Remember, in episode 57, some of the things that are relevant to this work that we're going to do today is my phone triddled is agile planning. Instead of making a plan to accomplish for the year, It's suggesting that we move away from single plan for the year and do a month to month plan, which to falls right in line to what Barb's uh, planning did and what the planning is that we did today. It also says to execute discipline, one strategy per month. Remember, we're going to plan month to month instead of for a whole, instead of one cumulative plan, we're going to break it out into 12 monthly plans that build on each other. And the last part, hey, Letty. I got to put this one up there, everybody. Hang on a second. Hello, Evelyn. Um, Letty says she needs Chappy to complete her plan on her behalf, just like shop elves. How many of you have shop elves? I tell you, they don't do a lot for me over here. I wind up having to do a lot of things myself. Um, all right. So, anyways, the other thing that came out in episode 157 was to make AI a team member. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to have a conversation with Chappy to build a plan, and I want to do this in the conversation. I want to show you the conversation I had with ChatGPT so that so that you all have a guideline as to maybe what to ask or how to ask. The one thing I want you to remember with all of this, for ChatGPT to learn you, to learn your style, to learn your expectations, you need to put your questions in your voice. Does everybody understand what that means? Did I sometimes I get lost in my words. Barb's going back to Letty's comment about the shop elves. Letty, are they shop shenanigan elves? Yeah, that's what I've got. I swear they move those scissors to a dozen different places and I can never find them. Okay, so next slide and yep, go to conversation. Where is it? Conversation. Oh, there it is. Okay. Should I make this bigger? I think I'm going to try to make this bigger. Yep. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so it's been a while since I worked with Chappy, so I asked him first thing, Chappy, do you remember me? And of course, I keep it conversational. Um, I know they got this whole conversation going over here. Letty's reply to the shenanigan elves. Yes, at times they are. I swear they hide things, create thread tangles. Yes, they do. We must hire from the same batch of elves, Letty, because I have the same ones in my house. Okay, so Chappie and I have a bit of a relationship, and just wanted to make sure that he remembered my voice. Evelyn says she can she could use some help. So again, I just wanted to make sure we still had some history. We're going in a different direction. As much as I wanted, and this is making reference to a previous production line that I had that just didn't work. So we closed that door, and Chappie and I are going to open up a new door. And of course, Chappie is very helpful. It says it's not failure, it's information, and machine embroidery is a sharp pivot. So here we go. Chappie, so where to start? I want to create a monthly project based on fashion and garment decorating trends for 2026. And I put a note here. All of this working with ChatGPT reminds me of that movie with Joaquin Phoenix, Her, where he falls in love with an animated voice, an AI voice. Yeah, not that Chappy and I are going to fall in love, but I do seem to converse with him as if him could be a her. I do seem to converse with it as if it's sitting right here. So, anyways, what did he do? She do? It do? Gave me define your monthly themes for 2026 and gave me 12 themes. Now, up here I put a note, reminder, you should always work 6 months ahead. So, for February's work, I should have started February's work back in September. All right. So, keeping that in mind, using this planner in February, I'm going to start working the patriotic with a pop. All right. And then in March and April, but we're going to start working 6 months in advance. So we got there, and of course, Chappie gives us lots of good information, gives us places to research, uh, creative development, trend briefing, color palettes, design sketches. Okay, so step 4 is a content calendar. This is all from that one question. Again, January, minimalist monogramming, uh, output, platform, and then customizing. Okay, so that gave me a lot of information, a good place to start. Good morning, Cindy. Hey, everybody, Cindy has a new grandbaby. Yay! Oh, Letty, that's a good idea. Remember, I just said that we need to think 6 months in advance. So we're going to start thinking about July. July, Letty suggests I really need to think about the 250th birthday. Yeah, the United States will be 250 years old as a democracy. We should round that into our work for July this year. Yeah, Everly Helen Ducker. That's the new baby's name. Isn't that sweet? Okay, so like I said, Chappie gave us a lot of really good details, a lot of really good information. Um, oh, look, here's this last one. Reply with those, and I'll help shape a plan to fit your voice, your workflow, your goals. That's what AI is supposed to do for you. Okay, so I told Chappie, I think we've got a good start. I'm going to try to be a little more specific. I would like a spreadsheet format, a column for the name of the month, the column titled Trend Focus. And again, I used Barb's spreadsheet that she shared with me to identify the columns. Um, the next column should include a 3-color complementing to the trend color palette to coordinate with the trend. The last column is 3 to 4 items to create using the colors and the trend for each month. Perfect, Chappie. I keep it conversational. He keeps it conversational. Clearly, here's a spreadsheet ready table. You can drop in Excel. And now, Chappie did give me a downloadable spreadsheet, but he also identified it here in February. Trend focus, quiet luxury minimalism, warm ivory, soft taupe, charcoal grays, monogram sweatshirts, a minimalist tote, collar details, cuff accents. Again, remember, you're going to work 6 months in advance. So um, next month, we should be working on the graphic Americana, bold, not literal, navy, antique reds, natural whites, trucker hats, canvas bag, bandana corners. Those are the suggestions for July. We're going to focus on January because, that's where we are. But yeah, it gives me all of this. Why this works. Trend driven, but not trendy trashy. It will age well. Embroidery first palettes. No nightmare thread changes. Garments, accessories mixed, so you're not locked into one product. Again, this is information that Chappy has volunteered based on the question I asked. So, yeah, I love how conversational he, she, it is. Very nice. Can you please convert this to a printable planning worksheet? And of course, if you're polite to Chappy, Chappy will be polite to you. So glad you like it. So, there is a link here that I downloaded. I would show you that link, but I wasn't real happy with how it turned out. All it is just basically one line that just says exactly this. Um, but it's just one line across. I wanted something a little more defined, but that's okay. I can edit. Okay. Convert to a printable. There he is for tablets. There are four, and then I wanted to get even more, I wanted to break it down even further for this platform. There are generally 4 weeks in a month. I want to use this to create a lesson plan for a video podcast I do every week. Thank you. Next one, I'm looking for a planning worksheet to teach starting, building, continuing a small business, a small home-based business. Like I said, Chappy's got a good voice. You're very welcome. I love how intentional this is becoming. A weekly podcast, lessons, worksheet. It's a strong teaching spine. Okay, so he did. He downloaded this, and basically what he did was he took this, our January, February, our 12 monthly plans, and he planned out a 4 week um, a 4 week of all this one subject. Well, I like to teach different things. So we scrolled down and said, again, a good start. Awesome. Let's tweak this out. I do 4 episodes a month. I want to use 1 week to focus on business building. So I specifically told Chappie that of the 4 weeks in the month, I only want to use one on business building. So he suggested weeks 1 through 3, technique, creative projects, refined troubleshooting. And then the fourth week would be the business week, pricing, profit, sustainability, workflow, marketing. Um, Again, a good suggestion, what Chappie is saying is that if we stay consistent, that we will build trust with our audience, and they will learn that on a specific week we will cover a specific subject. For example, week 4 will be business week. So yeah, that's just it. I like this last line. You're not just making content, you're building a cadence, and that's how people will stay with you. So that was our first conversation with Chappie. Now I use the free version. I use the free version. Sorry, Doug, I'm just getting caught up here with the. Um, so what is the prompt I used? What is the prompt I used? Every time you saw a yellow, that is what I conversed, what I said to ChatGPT AI. It wasn't a specific give me this, 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 and this. I told Chappie what my intentions were, again in a conversational format, and these are the suggestions I gave, or excuse me, these are the suggestions that were made. Yeah, Evelyn, I think so too. I think Evelyn says that these are very nice suggestions, And I agree. Did I miss somebody coming in? Oh, Joanne! Welcome to the show. Okay, so because I use the free version of Chappy, of ChatGPT, I'm limited to only so many questions. So I had to come back a second day for the second part of this. And this is again something that I picked up from Barb's work, and I had not done this before. So I wasn't sure if it would work. So I came back another day and I asked Chappy, can you create actual graphic images? Because I wasn't sure if he could. And of course he can. Yay! All right, so we come down here. Here's my prompt. And again, I made reference to our previous conversation because Chappy learns me, learns my voice. He also keeps track of where we've had conversation before. And he can use that to build into the next conversation. Let's see. Yes, Evelyn. Going back to Evelyn. So you would use suggestions for what you would like to accomplish with your end in mind. Yes, exactly. Now, it's going to take a couple of times building through this, and you'll see that with our graphic conversation. But yes, you you keep tweaking out until you get what you want. So, I told Chappie, I reminded him that in our last conversation for January, was focusing on quiet luxury minimalist using a color palette and I identified that color palette and the suggestions for the projects. Can you create graphics that would match the suggestion you made? And here's the graphic that he came up with. Now, honestly, I was looking for more design element specific. Remember, he said corners of the collar, minimalist tote, cuff detail, monograms. I really like, and here I am trying to. I'm pointing at my monitor here. I really like this whole layout, but I wanted something more specific. I wanted little design bits on these pieces. So we went to the next part. Now, don't laugh. I mean, he took me literally. Oh, got to catch up on the conversation over here. Barb says she has the paid version. I've been setting up project folders on a board of directors, people from the business garment decorating industry. You can set up agents to keep you up to date on new. That's awesome. Doug uses it mostly to create posts for Instagram. Sorry, had to figure that one out. And Facebook. Barb, we need to talk about this. Definitely need some help. Evelyn needs some help. I will be reaching out. Um, okay, so like I said, I was hoping for a little more detail as to specific design elements. Oh, let me get this clear. Do, do, do. And I might just consider to get more specifics and to get longer reaches. I think I'm going to consider the paid version. Okay, so I told Chappie that this was pretty, but can you make the graphic items suitable for machine embroidery projects? Look at this, Barb. Barb says, there is so much you can do. I've done calculators, spreadsheets for embroidery, sewing, laser, DTF, rhinestones. Once you know your business, it will be faster in putting things together for you. That is amazing. Doug, who's your question to? Are you using the images created in post and websites? I haven't yet. Remember, this part is new to me based on some conversation we had in a previous episode and conversation I've had with Barb since then. But let's get through this part here. So I told Chappy that this was pretty, and I do. I like the layout. I like how the color palette works. Um, so I said, make it suitable for machine embroidery projects. And this is what I got. Chappy took the images. Chappy took the images, and I don't know if you can see this. Let me see if I can. Oops, wrong one. Let me see if I can enlarge this some more. Can you see that? He texturized the images he gave me. So they look like they're embroidered. Yes, Doug, there are some ethical issues if you use them. That's still all being worked out within the corporate world regarding using AI images, because what happens is AI actually draws from the world of data that's already been uploaded to the internet. Um, so this tote may belong to somebody else, or it could belong to a dozen somebody else's. That is something that you need to decide for yourself. At this point, one of the things that I have intended to do with regard to using AI generated graphics or AI generated content is to post on there, include with the material or the images in this post are AI generated. And Barb, I agree. I think I think it's a fine line that we need to walk. Um, Doug's saying that it represents you, that you actually embroidered it and you didn't. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying to present it as my own work because, again, it's not. I would document this is AI generated. And I agree. Cindy is saying, wouldn't it be the same as searching on the internet for clip art? And it is. We all know, let's go back to the whole copyright thing. Every image that you see, every graphic, every picture was created by somebody initially. And the copyright is held by that creator. So every image that you would download from the internet, it's not yours to use as you please, willy nilly. It belongs to somebody. You need to find sources that will allow you a commercial license or a license to use the image or the documentation. And then to go with that, you also need to represent the originator. Images provided by XYZ or images developed by XYZ. Those are all things you need to take care of. Letty says she uses AI to enhance her pictures. I've straightened my folds, displayed on different surfaces. That's an awesome use of AI. To me, it's no different than creating a mock-up out there for use. Yes, again, I would still represent that if the whole graphic is created by AI, my graphic here, for example, I would add in tiny letters across the bottom here, this graphic created AI generated. Let's see, Letty, that is how I use it for graphics or mockups. That's what Barb is saying. Evelyn, you hit the nail right on the head. Or you could just make your own pictures. Yeah, I like it too, that tote. Okay, so let's get back to this. There's a every year more and more copyrighted images become expire, their copyright expires and it becomes public domain. Those are images you can use with no questions asked. Okay, so we're going to go back to this. So this last question that I asked was again, oh, I should make that smaller because we can't read it all. To make the images embroidery suitable for machine embroidery, and it just texturized the picture, the graphic. Not quite what I had in mind. Let's try one more time. The graphics need to be suitable for machine embroidery. I'm looking for graphic samples of the images that should actually be stitched to the garment, not the garments itself. So he just repeated what he already did. It's the same image. So yeah, not really happy with this. Um, did take away the framing though. I kind of like that framing. Okay, I see you like featuring the garment in the item with the design, and I do like the trend focus written in the center of the graphic. That looks very nice. Let's go back to showing the realistic image of the garment. Shirt front with a monogram, shirt cuff detail with a small embroidered element. We should do the same for the collar point and the tote. We need an elegant but simple graphic to fill the suitable area on the front. See, I'm getting more specific so that Chappy can get a better idea of what I am actually looking for. With every interaction, AI is learning more about what I want. In this next graphic, we went back to our original, and you can see there's a nice simple element on the collar point, a nice simple piece on the tote, a monogram on the cuff and on the shirt. Very nice. Perfect. Very good. I'm going to take all of your suggestions and incorporate them into my video podcast presentation this week. You've been so helpful. Remember, be nice to Chappy. Chappy will be nice to you. P.S. I know Chappy is a program, but it never hurts to be polite. You get polite back. Okay. So, and Chappy, he's thrilled. He likes to he likes to hear that he's doing good. Let's see, further notch for a video, and then of course he has additional suggestions, and I just tell him I'm happy with the direction we're going in, and we just sign off. Yep, that's it. Um, so yeah, let's go back here and down and down. So that's it. That's using AI to create my plan. Um, I plan to dig into this a little bit more. I'm going to check into a paid version of ChatGPT, and I don't care what anybody says. Um, you hear all the time. You hear all the time people saying, ChatGPT. You're over 40. You're using ChatGPT. Yeah, there are many, 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 many different AI software, AI connections that you can make. But just because you're using Chat GPT does not mean it is not functional and not giving you what you want. It is. Just trust in the process and work through it. Um, just, one question at a time, and you guys will learn together. Let's see, where are we here? Sorry, I got a little delayed. Letty, yeah, yeah. Canva is a good mock-up with their AI feature. Yep. See, again, there's all kinds of AI. There's all kinds of AI available out there to help you. Letty says, absolutely. I would state if the graphic was completely generated by AI, it protects you. But guys, we've had variations, we've had versions of this now, and I think of a good, think of how good a design looks on screen versus a stitch out. Yeah, the screen lies. Evelyn says, learning to query is not easy. Evelyn, if you were sitting in front of me and said, I want to do this, I would develop something based on what you said. I want to do this. But it isn't quite what you had in mind. You had something more in mind. So you just ask me again, Evelyn, I want to do this. Please add this and this. So I'll take what we've already done and I will build on it based on the query that you made. And we will continue to build until you get what you want. Like I said, I'm very conversational with my AI, with ChatGPT. Um, Sorry, the dogs are barking. Somebody came to the door. Um, Whatever makes you feel comfortable in your interaction, just walk through it. Just give it a try. Let's see. You're welcome, Diane. Cindy, thank you. I'm glad you like it. Debbie, my friend Debbie in Texas has showed up. She's been here for a couple of minutes now. Debbie, you can always rewatch it and you can always ask. And you're right, Barb. It asks questions. Remember, there was that whole section of suggestions. It asks questions that you may not think of. It gives you suggestions that are along the same lines, but maybe expand. Very, very helpful. Every AI program, yes, Doug, every AI program has its strengths. ChatGPT is not the best for graphics. Maybe not, but maybe it's the best for the graphics you want to create or the idea of graphics you want to create. Don't discount Chappy just because it's a chat AI. Joanne, it is. It is a scary thing. But you know what? When you bought your first embroidery machine, wasn't that a scary thing too? Make AI part of your team to build your business. Okay, look for other programs that are out there. Sure, Evelyn, share them. If you find something that you like, share them. I'll post it so that people can say, here, try this. Evelyn, Google has Gemini, which is free. Barb does Gemini generate graphics too? Just might be worth a try. Remove, I'm sorry, Evelyn. Did something happen? Did I hit a bad button? I'm sorry. Disregard, Evelyn. Letty. The only thing I miss about ChatGPT or any AI is there really isn't any way to back up to a previous point and go, keep this part and change. Oh, but I did, Letty, I did. Remember when in my conversation I told ChatGPT that I loved the original graphic with And the points that were in it that I liked, I said, let's go back to that. And he did. He went back and we used that graphic to build the next graphic. Just make it part of your inquiry. All right. You're very welcome, Evelyn. We'll see you later, Debbie. Let me go back, Evelyn. Remove period. Still not sure, Evelyn. It's okay. We'll just go forward. I'm just trying to get all these in here. Um, let's see, Letty, I put information in a project folders and have it put in a document. Your total conversation. Adobe has an AI in their Photoshop and Illustrator apps. I don't use graphic software. I am not. It's not in my wheelhouse. The best thing I can do with graphic software is crop. Yeah, for me, uh, I am very comfortable with paint. I know it's not much. Okay, so let's go back to this next week. Next week, I plan to share uh, some of the highlights of my visit to Impressions. Now, depending on how deep we get, it might be over a couple of things. Oh, yeah, remember, Chappy, uh, it's a good thing Chappy's suggestions aren't written in stone. Remember, Chappie said for January I should be focusing on the minimalist. And here I am, I'm going to go talk about Impressions Long Beach. Okay, so that's what I'm going to start that next week. Some of the classes, the information I got, um, some of the samples I picked up, we're going to experiment with those. I hope to see you next week. Thank you for being here. Just let me double check this. Okay, so we're going to say goodbye. Let me get this out of here. Say goodbye. Where'd my other? There we are. Bye. That fun? Do you have more questions? Do you want to learn something new? Join me at quicktostitch.com for coffee and conversation, and we'll talk about it. Embroidery machines, designs, and business. Hope to see you soon. Bye now.